A scandal of unprecedented proportions. A decorated police detective has delivered a crushing blow to London's mayor with a single, devastating testimony, the revelations of which will surely shake people to their core. For 25 years, Detective John Wedger was dedicated to investigating London's most heinous crimes. However, when he tried to rescue 52 children from trafficking rings, the very system he served turned on him. They threatened his job, his home, and his family, all to protect one man's reputation. This story, which the mainstream media is refusing to touch, is about what Wedger found. Children as young as 9 were being sold in crack houses, exchanged for drugs, and then transported to hotels across central London. The clients were construction workers by day. But it gets even worse. These same children were then taken to expensive restaurants in Mayfair, London's wealthiest district, where they were sold for £2,000 each. While politicians dined nearby, children were being bought and sold like commodities. And London's Mayor Sadiq Khan has evaded questions on this matter on 9 separate occasions this year alone. 9 times. That is not politics. That is a cover-up. Did you know that over 95% of our viewers aren't subscribed to the channel? We totally get it. Life gets busy, and sometimes it's easy to forget. But here's the thing. Subscribing is completely free, and it really helps us keep creating the content you enjoy. So why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? It only takes a second, but it makes a world of difference to us. Thank you for your support. Documented fact, not conspiracy theory. Detective Wedger did not simply make accusations. He kept detailed notes, police reports, and contemporary evidence. He even gave testimony to the 2022 independent inquiry into child sexual abuse. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a documented fact. The scale of this operation is staggering. Tower Hamlets, Camden, Westminster, and Haringey, 4 different London boroughs were all running the same operation, while authorities looked the other way. When Wedger tried to present his findings to senior officers, they blocked him. Not delayed, but blocked. Then came the chilling threat to every honest officer. Keep quiet or lose everything. Your career, your home, and your children. Think about that. Police officers threatening other police officers for trying to save children because exposing the truth would harm the Metropolitan Police's reputation. As if a reputation matters more than 9-year-olds being trafficked for sex. The timeline is crucial here. This was not a brief operation. It spanned 20 years, 2 decades of systematic abuse while multiple mayors, commissioners, and governments came and went. Either they all failed catastrophically, or they all knew and stayed silent. Khan's response tells you everything you need to know. Instead of addressing the evidence, his team labels it politically motivated. Yet you cannot call documented police testimony political. You cannot dismiss 52 identified victims as a political issue. A system-wide failure. The Met's response is even worse. They admit they do not keep proper data on grooming gangs. Imagine a fire department saying they do not track house fires and then claiming they cannot understand why buildings keep burning down. Haringey Council claims they never heard these allegations, but Wedger specifically mentions presenting his findings to council representatives. Either they are lying about not knowing, or their internal communication systems are so broken that they lose reports about industrial-scale child abuse. Either option inspires no confidence whatsoever. Look at the business model these gangs created. Children were swapped for £50 worth of crack cocaine and then sold in Mayfair for £2,000. That is not random crime. That is sophisticated trafficking with different markets for different clients. The locations are significant. Mayfair restaurants are not random venues. These are places where London's elite dine and where multi-million-pound deals are made. The idea that child trafficking could happen there without anyone noticing is impossible to believe. This also connects to broader criminal networks. You do not trade children for drugs without knowing dealers. You do not book hotels without staff noticing patterns. You do not run 20-year operations without protection from above. The international angle makes this even bigger. If wealthy foreign clients were using these children in Mayfair, this scandal reaches far beyond British politics. London's position as a global financial center means this could involve clients from anywhere in the world. But here's what truly matters. Those 52 children Wedger identified are now adults. They have spent decades knowing that the system failed them while their abusers walked free. Some have probably never recovered, and some might not have even survived. The connection to care homes shows how predators exploited existing institutional weaknesses. Care homes are already among the most vulnerable members of society. They often have backgrounds of trauma, limited family support, and frequent placement changes, making them perfect targets for groomers. But care homes are supposed to be safe spaces, staffed by trained professionals, monitored by social services, and inspected regularly. If traffickers could access children there routinely, it means every single safeguarding system failed simultaneously. The drug connection adds a complexity that most people miss. Children being traded for crack cocaine suggests these gangs were deeply embedded within broader criminal ecosystems. They were not isolated child abusers. They were integrated into drug networks, money laundering operations, and organized crime. That integration explains their longevity. When you're connected to larger criminal enterprises, you receive protection, inside information about police operations, warnings about investigations, and resources to neutralize threats. Wedger's detailed documentation destroys any claim that this is a false accusation. Police notebooks filled out contemporaneously, official reports filed with superiors, and sworn testimony given under oath to public inquiries. This is not the work of some disgruntled former employee making wild claims. The 2022 independent inquiry into child sexual abuse heard his testimony, a formal legal process with strict evidential standards. You cannot simply fabricate things in sworn testimony without facing perjury charges. His decision to keep such detailed records shows he understood the magnitude of what he was uncovering. Astute investigators document everything because they know powerful people will try to discredit them later. The threats he received revealed the institutional priorities. Being told that exposing child trafficking would cost him his home, job, and children shows what the Metropolitan Police allegedly cared about, not protecting children, but protecting their own reputation. That threat also reveals a consciousness of guilt. You do not threaten someone's livelihood over nothing. You do not worry about institutional damage unless there's something profoundly damaging to reveal. The Met's response to these allegations has been predictably inadequate, talking about county lines gangs while admitting they do not have comprehensive data on grooming gangs shows they're missing the point entirely. Their admission that this type of crime often goes unreported is particularly telling. Of course it goes unreported when detectives trying to investigate trafficking are threatened with career destruction. You can't acknowledge underreporting while simultaneously creating environments where reporting is career suicide. Mayor Khan's response, delivered through his spokesperson, is a standard political crisis management tactic. Calling the allegations false, malicious, and politically motivated without addressing the specific claims is textbook deflection. But the timing of these statements is revealing. Khan has been evading questions about grooming gangs all year. If the allegations were false, why not just answer the questions directly from the beginning? Why spend months avoiding the issue? The politically motivated claim falls apart when you examine Wedger's background. This is a decorated detective with 25 years of experience investigating serious crimes. What possible political motivation could he have for fabricating detailed allegations about child trafficking? Haringey Council's response is perhaps the most damning of all. They claim they have not been made aware of these historic allegations, but Wedger specifically mentions presenting his findings to council representatives. Either they are lying about not knowing, or their internal communication systems are so broken that they lose reports about industrial-scale child abuse. Either option inspires no confidence whatsoever. The broader